Good morning guys, welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me John on this Thursday the 9th of November. So the pound is back. We saw that disappear when we were looking for sort of pound yen longs previously. We got into a move, we got stopped out of that move. I've actually ended up jumping back into another pound yen long. We discussed it in the video yesterday that you should be watching for breaks back above that 50 MA. So that happened and I'm long currently in that market, so I'll go show you that position. EURCAD hit full targets, which was nice yesterday. So that was a very quick trade actually. Once we got triggered, within the sort of few hours, it hit targets, which is good. Kiwi Swiss, on the other hand, if you didn't get triggered, I don't think you would have been, because I got triggered as I was kind of making the sort of details of that for the Discord channel, and I got triggered on spread, so I ended up getting stopped on that position. But you probably wouldn't have been triggered into that if you'd placed it at the time that I was looking at it. So if you didn't, then you would be fine. I would just cancel that position now. But Kiwi has come back as a strong currency, so we're going to be checking out some of these CAD pairs, some of these yen pairs once again. I quite like the idea of looking for longs on the yens. So let's go dive into the charts of interest. This is Kiwi Swiss. You can see that it's actually come back into a favourable position, but I'm going to wait to see how that one plays out first. But first of all, let's go dive into the trade that we took yesterday. It was EURCAD. We were looking to get long into the highs here on this daily chart. So we can see that there was obviously lots of resistance here. Price moved around about 600 pips to the downside from that level. So obviously a very, very important level of resistance in the past. So I was looking to target that level again. We had bullish daily candlesticks on a 30-minute time frame then. There was obviously some good long opportunities all in through these areas here. So I wanted to try and jump back on a particular move at this point. Ended up jumping back in at this area here above that 50 MA. Stop loss I just placed below the 200 moving average because I wanted to give it a bit of breathing room. If I went a bit tight there, it could have continued to sort of range before either breaking out or pushing to the downside at that point. So yeah, I wanted to see obviously some kind of momentum here. We did eventually get it. Price rallied, hit our take profit, and now we're starting to see a pullback. So EURCAD is still on our charts of interest at the moment. Obviously there's some developments maybe we could look for in and around these previous swing highs in here. We are approaching these other highs that formed back on the 31st of October. But what I would be looking at is how price reacts in a previous structure highs now. Do we get something similar where we're obviously getting that bit of a downward trend? Notice what happens down in here. We get a bit of a double bottom and price starts to push back up. We get a bit of a double bottom. So I want to see price try and bottom out here first. If you were to see that at these highs, then great. So I would be looking to see price come into there, rebound, continue back to the upside. Maybe we get another long entry. The only problem at that point is the 50 MA is probably going to be curled up a little bit higher. So we're again back at that resistance. The only thing I could say at that point is we'll go for the larger target of 148.40, 148.50, which is the next sort of cluster of highs that formed. Sorry, let me just try and squeeze that in. Formed back in here on the 18th of July. So that's the only other thing I can suggest in and around that point is we wait for the pullback, another continuation up into the next highs at that point. I can hear some alerts going off, so I might go check that in a second. But before I do that, let's go check out some other charts. So Euro Yen, obviously this was another one we talked about getting long into. So if you did get long into this market above this moving average here, above this 50 MA, you would have been with your stop loss below the swing low at 50 pips. Currently about 60 pips to the upside there, looking to see this one move higher. Now I am watching this one quite closely. I didn't manage to get an entry on this one. Obviously I'm in pound yen long, so that's a little bit different. So I'm looking to see if we can get long in here. I'm watching this area. I'm going to just move my alert up into these swing lows. I want to see price come up into this point basically and bottom out, so we can see that we are seeing obviously buyers stepping in, buyers stepping in. I want to see price try and come into the moving averages, break back above the averages. I'm going to look to get long again. I didn't get long here. I really wanted to, but I just didn't. I was in pound yen instead. and yeah, price rallied. So yeah, unfortunately got left behind on that one, but I did get long on pound yen instead. So this was where we got stopped out of the position. So we went long here, stopped out right there, and I mean literally as we got stopped out, price rallied to the upside. So the original position would have stayed in really. Unfortunately for us, we just got taken out on that sort of 200 moving average retest, and price has since rallied. We've pulled back a little bit, rallying again. We are kind of finding a little bit of resistance towards these 4-hour highs in here, but I still have faith that the market is going to push higher. I just look at the daily, I think that it's looking bullish into that 186.50. So again, we can look for more entries into this market around about this sort of 185.30 could be a good place to start looking for re-entries. So I'm just going to set an alert here. I want to see if price can pull into this zone and then push out of it and potentially move higher. So that's something that we can kind of keep an eye on. If we don't get that, that's fine. We could look at the sort of the developments on lower time frames. At the moment you can see we're kind of building a little bit of a range, so we might get a little mini break and retest on a 5-minute to maybe try and capture a little bit more out of this. So I'll keep an eye on that one, but 30-minute time frame pullback would be more ideal here. I just think that was obviously a bit more of a safer position into the market. Let's bring the tables back in then. So obviously pound, strong currency, yen, pound CAD could be something to look at. I was actually watching for a pound CAD long this morning. This was the alert that's actually going off right now, to be honest. Pound CAD coming back into this 30 minute 50 MA. If I look at the hourly, it's a little bit below that. I'm watching this area here obviously because we've found some buying after that consolidation. So can we see buying come back in again, and can we get long? So I'll be watching the 30-minute time frame here. Ideally, again, I want to see price breach it, which is what it's doing now. I want to see price close back above it, and that would give me the opportunity to try and buy with momentum to the upside. Okay, that's what I'm kind of trying to look for. Where could this price go? 1.73 could be an area that it goes to. There's a big level up here. I quite like 171 as well, which is this sort of zone in there. Obviously price found some support at 171 in the past before breaching it, moving to the downside. So looking to see if we can get into that level before seeing that downward potential pressure to come. So I quite like pound CAD upside, to be honest. Something I'm watching quite closely as well. Bringing back the tables, then we can see euro, yen, kiwi has come back. So kiwi being a bit of our nemesis at the moment, to be honest. We've been a little bit unfortunate with sort of the trades that we've taken. We've just tried to get onto the move maybe a little bit too soon, and you can see that obviously with that trade there. So as I put the trade on, it triggered me in via spread. You can see the spread was 1.5 pips. Price then just completely reversed. It was probably one of the worst trades I've taken in a while in terms of getting actually in the position. You can see I got triggered here, so price didn't actually ever make it through my entry point. It just kind of, you know, found some resistance and just completely turned over. My stop loss was below this swing low. I got taken out. Ever since then, price has started to rally back to the upside. I still have faith in this one as well because of the weekly chart. I like the weekly bullishness here. I still think that it's the right chart to look at for potential long ideas. Daily chart just started to pull back though, so maybe what I'm going to wait for this time on Kiwi pairs is wait for a bullish close. If we get the bullish close here, then it could suggest that buyers are going to push price to the next levels of resistance, which is 0.5480 and 0.55. So it should give us plenty of time to get on basically, and I'm going to watch the 30-minute time frame, because if we can try and jump on one of these potential moves, okay, then we're obviously going to have a good time to trade it higher. So if price can keep moving higher, we should see the 50 and the 200 cross again. If we come back in, retest, breakout, then I'm going to look to try and get long on this particular market. So we'll see what happens there on Kiwi Swiss. Obviously Kiwi CAD is something we can notch as well. Bullish here. The only difference with this one is obviously we've had price work within a channel. and you can see this resistance, the analysis of change, sorry, so that's not really on here, but this was the bearish channel from the weekly time frame. We're back at weekly swing highs, so to get long here I think would be fairly aggressive, considering it's not just a weekly level of resistance, it's also a key swing high, a trend line resistance as well. So I don't particularly like the idea of getting long there just yet. I think if we breach this level of 81.90, then the next level of resistance is up here at the 84.20s. So I think once it's breached, it'll give us a better idea of what could potentially happen next. So really speaking, what am I watching? I'm watching pound yen for potential ideas back to the upside. I'm watching pound CAD for long ideas within this area as well. I'm also keeping a close eye on EURCAD again, and Euro Yen is definitely one I think I want to be a part of. So I'm waiting for an opportunity to form on Euro Yen. The reason why I like this so much is just because of the option to get long to the upside. I think sort of the next level of resistance, I'm just trying to zoom out so I can see it. Let's go to the monthly. The next level of resistance is all the way up here at 169. So we've got like 700 pips to sort of work out. So I like the idea of being long here. I'm just waiting for a decent setup, to be honest. Once I get that decent setup, I'm going to go long. Keep our stops below the 200 moving average. That seems like a big trade, like 70 pip stop, but when you've got 700 pips to go for, it's practically nothing. So I'm going to wait for that situation to develop. I'm going to try and get long on this one, and yeah, that's about it from me for now. We could probably look into sort of Euro Rs and Pound Rs. Pound Rs, you know, working within this daily range at the minute. And if we look at the 30-minute time frame, we did rebound from the 50 MA. So I do feel like there could be an option to see pound Aussie into that 9300 area, one spot 9300. But I don't think it's my favorite chart. I think Euro Yen is where I want to be looking at potential opportunities. So that's what I'm going to be looking at going into today. Thanks for watching the video updates. I hope you enjoyed them, and I'll catch you in the next one.